Welcome back. Venice taxpayers are saying yes to 2 bond referendums totaling more than $30 million.
Today, officials are beginning to work on plans to build a new police station and repave all of the roadways in Venice. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley is joining us now live from Venice with more on how that money will be spent. Christopher.
Well, Scott and Haley, the 2 Venice city officials that this would impact the most told us they were anxiously awaiting the results coming in last night. Both told us today they are very happy to have the green light from voters. Despite a raise in taxes earlier this year, Venice voters passed $34 million in bonds on Tuesday.
Yeah, you never really know what the voters' preference is going to be. That's why we send it out to the public so we can see if the voters want to move forward with the project, if it's a priority.
According to voters, they are a priority. $18 million going to repair roads that started falling apart after the economic downturn in 2008.
As the economy went down, we had to find alternate funding sources just to do the daily functions.
City engineer Kathleen Whedon tells us 79 miles of local roadways are getting a makeover.
We're going to be doing some pretty major renovations to replace some of the dilapidated roads that are downtown, Venice Avenue, Miami, and Tampa.
There's also a new $16 million police station in the works to replace the 27-year-old current building, much to the delight of Chief Tom Mattmuller.
We're looking for a safe, secure place that the city can operate after a Category 5 hurricane, if it unfortunately did come this way. We're looking for a city command center so all the departments within the city can basically hunker down.
At this point, the chief won't say where, specifically, this new facility will be built, but we know it will be on Venice Avenue, and there are really only so many open lots.
We have to negotiate and identify the piece of property, purchase the piece of property. We'll be working with selecting an architect and then building the design.
With a grand total of $34 million plus interest being spent by voters on Tuesday, we asked City Manager Ed Lavallee how long will residents be paying for it.
20 years for the road bond and 30 years for the police public safety facility, and that's predicated on the projected life of those elements.
Now, interestingly, because the price is spread out to the taxpayers, the more people that move into the city of Venice, the less everyone will be asked to pay. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Christopher. John Hollick will continue to serve as mayor of Venice. He beat his opponent, Frank Abbruzzino, to win re-election by a healthy margin of 65 to 35%. Hollick is now serving a 3rd term. In a speech last night, the mayor thanked his supporters and said he looks forward to getting back to work.
Suncoast voters choosing some of our representatives in Tallahassee. Republican Greg Stubbe defeating Democrat Frank Elcock in the race for State Senate District 23 with 59% of the vote. Political newcomer Republican Alex Miller defeating Edward James III for a seat in the Florida House. And Republican Joe Gruters wins a spot in the House, taking the District 73 race. He defeated Reverend James Golden after narrowly advancing now the Republican primary. Gruters also served as the co-chair for Donald Trump's Florida campaign.
Turning now to the presidential election and the breakdown on exactly how Donald Trump won the election. ABC 7's Alan Cohn is joining us with some details. Alan.
Haley, there are 2 questions pollsters and pundits and a lot of Republicans and Democrats are asking tonight. How did Donald Trump do it and what happens now? We'll talk about that next on ABC 7 at 7. As for how Donald Trump got it done in Florida, you know, hindsight makes everything look a whole lot clearer. The professionals are saying Trump tapped into anger, and a lot of folks are feeling, and to state the obvious, pollsters underestimated the degree of antipathy towards Hillary Clinton.
It's Republicans coming home, and it's also maybe a lot of people underestimated the dislike of Hillary Clinton. And of course change. I mean, I think people just said we really need a change, and boy, Donald Trump represents change.
There are a whole lot of other questions, including how and why the polls were so wrong, the future of the Democratic Party when it comes to Sarasota and Manatee. And coming up at 7, the man who helped Donald Trump make it happen, Sarasota's own Joe Gruters, will join us. Haley and Scott.
All right, Alan, thank you. Proponents are hailing the approval of medical marijuana in Florida. Amendment 2 passing by 71%, far surpassing the 60% threshold needed for approval. Attorney John Morgan, who started People United for Medical Marijuana, spent nearly $7 million promoting that amendment. He praised voter support of the measure, saying 70% is unheard of. Morgan helped get a similar amendment on the ballot 2 years ago, but it came up short with just 58%.
2 years later, we were smarter, we were better prepared, we made changes to our language, and we decided that from that battle that we had lost early on, that we were ultimately going to win the war.
Medical marijuana was already legal in 26 states. Besides Florida, Arkansas and North Dakota also approved legal recreational pot, and voters in Montana removed restrictions blocking the creation of a market there.
And now for a check on our forecast, let's head over to Bob.
A little bit of rain around right now. We have a few brief showers. The cold front still well back to our north. You can see it kind of stretches right on in through parts of the Atlantic there, stretching right across north central Florida and then out into the Gulf. The front will sink slowly to the south overnight. I mentioned a few showers around. You can see that activity moving into Sarasota County. Also a little bit of light rain earlier in Anna Maria. There's still a few spotty showers out there. And as far as that rain goes, it's not all that heavy. A brief shower here and there pushing off to the east. No lightning around, no stormy weather like that. But still a few brief showers are possible through this evening. Otherwise, mostly cloudy skies. That's what we're seeing right now as the sun is getting ready to set here. 77 degrees. Dew point is at 60. Winds out of the west-northwest at 9. The pressure holding steady at 30.01 inches. We'll have much more on this cold front. Let you know what it means for the weekend coming up in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. If you're struggling to recover from Hurricane Hermine, there is a way to get some help. A FEMA State Disaster Recovery Center will open at G.T. Bray Park in Manatee County tomorrow. Representatives from FEMA and the Small Business Administration will be at the center to give property owners information on the types of assistance available and give updates on current applications. The center will be open this Thursday through Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. each day.
Suncoast families have a new playground to enjoy. The Ronald A. Balducci Playground at Event Garden at Nathan Benderson Park is now open. It's on the north end of the park and has your typical jungle gym, lots of slides, things for kids to climb on. One thing that's not so typical, though, the playground also has solar panels so that parents can charge their iPhones and iPads while their children are playing.
We also have people using this park all day long, riding, bicycling, walking, taking their dogs for walks. We're looking at increasing activities for the lake itself throughout the coming year. And this park, the playground itself, is just one more component that I think kids have a place to go.
Park is open daily during regular park hours, and the pavilion there will soon be available to rent for birthday parties and special events.
Very nice.
Looks nice, looks fun. Still to come in your Suncoast News, laser treatments that can help you hear more clearly.
How the popular treatment from Germany works and how they're helping patients on the Suncoast.
Rich finishes, beautiful colors, and over 1,000 different fabrics and leathers to choose from. With Bassett Custom Furniture at Bacon's Furniture and Design, you can design every room to match your own unique style. And every piece is quality handcrafted right here in America. Come in today and we'll guarantee your Bassett Custom Furniture will be shipped before the holidays. With our complimentary design service, start designing, start loving. Only at Bacon's Furniture and Design in Sarasota. Nobody beats Bacon's.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
You only have one life. Are you gambling with it? 1 in 3 adults have high blood pressure. Not knowing your numbers could cause you to lose, big time. Luckily, you can turn the odds in your favor by getting your blood pressure checked today. Don't leave your health to chance. Learn more at heart.org/HPB.
The official salon of ABC7. Cutting Loose Salon.
If you have a suspicion for harboring prostate cancer, we have a way of diagnosing by using an exquisite instrument called three-dimensional color flow power Doppler ultrasound. Using this system, we can identify abnormalities within the prostate that you could otherwise never detect. The Daucon Cancer Center is the only center in the southeastern United States which has this technology. If you have prostate cancer, we will find it.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
A technique used for hearing loss and other ear conditions in Germany is now available here on the Suncoast. ABC 7's Alex Redmond joins us with how this treatment is helping patients. Alex.
Thanks, Haley. It's called the LumaMed laser, and it's a painless treatment that regenerates damaged hair cells within the inner ear to help restore hearing loss and symptoms of Meniere's disease, even tinnitus and vertigo that may accompany it. Hearing loss has certain signs and symptoms.
Multiple conversations, I couldn't hear them all. If there was background noise.
Bob Kirscher says an exam revealed his hearing loss.
And it was recommended I get hearing aids.
Dr. John Lawrence, a board-eligible chiropractic neurologist, says medications that damage the inner ear and loud noises contribute to hearing loss.
We have people that put earphones in their ears with their iPhones. There's just so much stress to the inner ear.
Hearing aids that amplify sound may make hearing loss worse, says Dr. Lawrence. But now Kirscher is undergoing a laser treatment previously only available in Germany that Dr. Lawrence found through an international patient.
And I was so impressed that I brought this back to Sarasota, and we're doing it on patients, and it's phenomenal.
Dr. Lawrence explains.
The hair cells are responsible for balance, and they're also responsible for hearing.
The LumaMed laser works on damaged hair cells within the ear to not only help restore hearing, but also helps patients suffering symptoms of unbearable dizziness, irritating noise in the ear, and sharp piercing whistle sounds that may accompany conditions like Meniere's disease and tinnitus.
We're actually trying to get laser into this little area deep inside of the bones of the skull, and it's providing energy that these hair cells, these little cells inside of this area, are using for hearing.
Patients like Bob Kirscher wear goggles like these to protect their eyes when they're getting laser treatments with the LumaMed laser.
You might feel like a little sunlight, but it produces very little heat. So some people don't feel anything at all.
Treatment, says Dr. Lawrence, take half hour per ear, and 10 to 15 treatments are recommended for best results.
I've had 8 or 9 treatments. I'm hearing things much clearer. I can distinguish voice levels. I'm finding that I'm probably not going to need hearing aids.
Just about every patient we've done this treatment on has had a response and improvement with their hearing.
Dr. Lawrence says the LumaMed laser offers an alternative treatment for hearing loss and other inner ear conditions because it repairs rather than creating further damage.
And Alex, how bad can some of these inner ear conditions get?
Well, I will tell you that my father had Meniere's disease, and it actually knocked him flat down on the ground because he got so dizzy. So it can really affect the quality of your life. And now this repairs rather than damages.
Great to hear. All right, thank you, Alex. Now let's head over to Bob, get a check on our forecast.
Well, one thing the pundits and prognosticators got right is the fact that the sun will come out in the morning, and it surely did. Suncoast Sunrise and Palmer sending this one in. Looking off through the bay there, you can see a beautiful sunrise it was. We had some sunshine and just a few high-level clouds, and now those clouds have really increased across the area. Taking a look out from the Van Wezel webcam, you can see calm conditions out in the seas. Here comes the clouds on the increase throughout the afternoon, and now a few brief showers have been reported across parts of the Suncoast, and up to our north, a little bit more action going on along I-75. You'll notice, though, that that's kind of thinning out as it makes its way slowly to the south. That's the actual front itself. The cooler air behind that, and the wind shift will occur. But for us, we'll see a few brief showers or sprinkles moving through at times. We had a little bit of rainfall near Venice, and now one lone shower along I-75 near Northport. And we take a wider view. You can see the rain stretching all the way out into the Gulf of Mexico, just to the south of Louisiana here. Not a lot of rainfall and quite a bit of clouds, though. Those clouds will stick around tonight and then clear out by midday tomorrow. So we'll look for that sunshine to return. 77 degrees, the dew point 60, and winds out of the west-northwest. The high today did warm to 83, so 83 degrees above average as it has been all week long. And now we'll start to go a little bit below this number, I believe, as we move through time. Look at the record low, 35, set back in 1976. This morning's low was 64 degrees. Well, no rainfall officially at the airport at Sarasota Bradian Airport. We had a few brief showers near Venice and earlier this afternoon. As far as the forecast goes overnight, some clouds around, a few brief showers I mentioned, and temperatures in the low 60s to start the day off tomorrow. Waterleaf now at 77. Just to the south along State Road 70 near Rosedale, 77 degrees, and Northwest Braden at 77. That seems to be a fairly popular number. 79, though, a couple of degrees warmer in Northport, and Englewood at 75. Venice checking in at 76 degrees. Well, behind the front, high pressure will build in, and that means delightful weather for all the events taking place for Veterans Day on Friday. And we also have the Chalk Classic taking place, the Chalk Festival in Venice, and the Sand Sculpting Contest taking place on Siesta Key. All this begins on Friday and continues through the weekend, so you always want good weather for that. It looks like it's going to happen as this high pressure ridge builds behind the front. This pushes everything out of here, and we're looking at some sunshine. It will be noticeably cooler, though, to start the mornings off, both on Saturday and Sunday, with lows down into the mid-50s in some places. Some drier air will settle in. Well, the forecast looks like this. There goes the front. The high pressure builds back in, and this area of low pressure continues to move off to the east. We'll continue to see nice weather here, as I mentioned, through the weekend. Starting to get chilly in Cleveland and Toronto. Still pretty mild, though, in North Dakota, Minot. It's 70 degrees there right now. Northeast winds. We start off at 15 knots. It'll switch to the north in the afternoon at 5 to 10 knots. Seas will be right around 2 feet and a moderate chop out there. Tides upcoming. High tide at 8:45 and a low tide at 3:26 tomorrow morning. The forecast for tonight, mostly cloudy, a few showers, 62 for your low. Tomorrow, look for back to normal conditions after some clouds in the morning, clearing in the afternoon, a high near 81. The extended forecast calls for delightful weather right through the weekend. Back to you.
Good to hear. Thank you, Bob. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No reports of accidents, but traffic is backed up on I-75. That is in the northbound lanes of Fruitville Road.
As American car buyers shift from cars to SUVs and trucks, General Motors is cutting back its production and cutting jobs at 2 car factories. Third shifts will be idled at factories in Lordston, Ohio, near Cleveland, and in Lansing, Michigan, resulting in about 2,000 layoffs. That Lordstown plant makes the Chevrolet Cruze compact car, while the Lansing Grand River factory makes the Chevrolet Camaro muscle car and the Cadillac ATS and CTS luxury cars. GoPro is facing a recall. The camera maker is recalling a batch of its new Karma drones. Some of the $800 gadgets have been losing power in midair, causing safety concerns. The recall includes about 2,500 models that were sold since October 23rd of this year. Customers are being offered a full refund.
Starbucks will be unveiling its holiday coffee cups for this year with what looks like it may be snowflakes and reindeer. The move comes after last year's more subdued red cups caused an uproar from critics who said the chain was part of a so-called war on Christmas. The coffee chain was set to roll out the red cups in stores tomorrow, but a New York store had a display Tuesday showing 10 different cups that it said were designed by customers around the world, some featuring ornaments, Santa Claus, and other holiday symbols.
Well, they're not just red anymore.
Right. So they kind of went back to
Yes, they did.
you know, I think that's fun. It's more festive.
Entertainment news is next.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WinGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WinGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
They took that stress and that tension when I was particularly feeling very bad after that nasty car accident, and it was such a relief to know that I didn't have to bear that burden alone, that I had help.
Our goal is to not just get a satisfactory settlement on their case. We want them up on their feet, happy again. They've gotten their life back.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Being the caregiver for my husband is truly a blessing, but sometimes it's easy to lose a part of myself. To be my best, for him and for me, it's important to have time to be able to recharge. When I called Tidewell Hospice, they gave me the chance to do just that. They helped me find the time to care for myself, all the while with the peace of mind of knowing my husband is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Alex Karras Lincoln's holiday sales event is here. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $269 per month, or a 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury. Winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Sun Coast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
In entertainment news, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have a new custody agreement.
According to a statement from a rep for Jolie, the divorcing celebs have signed a legal agreement continuing the previous arrangement for their 6 children. Jolie has custody, and the kids will continue therapeutic visits with Pitt, who at last report was still seeking joint custody.
You'll have to wait just a bit longer to see Halle Berry try to get her son back in the movie Kidnap. The thriller from the troubled studio Relativity Media had been bumped from its scheduled release December 2nd to next March. The studio has endured a series of upheavals since filing for bankruptcy in April, including the lackluster releases of The Disappointments Room and Masterminds.
Shakira is dropping out of performing at the Latin Grammys and the American Music Awards. Shakira tweeted that due to personal matters, she will not be able to travel to those events. She was supposed to perform with Carlos Vives at a show, but she says she will be with him in spirit instead. The Latin Grammys are November 17th in Las Vegas. The American Music Awards are November 20th in Los Angeles.
Hips don't lie. Michael Keaton is returning to his superhero roots, this time as a villain in next year's Spider-Man reboot. Marvel Studios confirming that Keaton will play Vulture in the movie Spider-Man Homecoming. Keaton played the title character in the 1989 version of Batman, and then its sequel in 1992, Batman Returns. He was also nominated for an Oscar for his turn as an actor dogged by his days playing a superhero in 2014's Birdman. Spider-Man Homecoming stars Tom Holland as the web slinger, and it is set for release next summer in July.
The film Birdman exploding on.
You know, he plays.
I guess.
I liked him as the original Batman character.
I did too.
He only did a couple of the movies.
Yeah, he was
and
good
there was
though.
A string of others.
Yeah.
But I think he'll fit as a villain. He's got that look.
He does.
Yeah.
He really does. Yeah. We'll be right back.
Enjoy fine wine, craft beer, and delicious foods, all while supporting a great cause at the 15th Annual Suncoast Food and Wine Festival, Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. Taste hundreds of wines from around the world and sample cuisine from the area's finest restaurants. Watch live cooking demonstrations from local chefs and take part in a silent auction to bid on creative prize packages that will delight any foodie or wine connoisseur. The event will feature live music by Kettle of Fish, There's free parking, and all proceeds benefit a variety of local charities and Rotary Club projects. Don't miss this year's Suncoast Food and Wine Festival. Saturday, November 12th from 1 to 4 p.m. at the Sarasota Polo Club. For tickets and information, visit suncoastfoodandwinefest.com.